This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. So today's video we will discuss how to crack IIT JEE Advanced 2024. We will have some overview first, and after that we will see the exam pattern and also the marking scheme, syllabus, then preparation tips and tricks we will discuss, and also what are the important points that we should remember at the exact exam day and after entering the exam hall. All this we will discuss, okay, in this video. So what is the overview? The joint entrance examination, in short JEE, it is basically All India Common Engineering Entrance Examination, and it is administered by NTA. The full form of NTA is National Testing Agency. And what is the purpose of this exam? The purpose is for admission to different engineering colleges throughout the country. Now this JEE, it is divided in two parts. The first part is JEE Main, and the second part is JEE Advanced, which is today's topic. Now, what is the difference between these two and what is the purpose of these two different exams? The purpose is basically the first one, that is JEE Main. It is used to gain admission to the Indian Institute of Information Technologies (IITs) and National Institute of Technologies (NITs), and there is some other central or state government institutes. But JEE Advanced, it is basically more, as the name suggests, advanced. That means it is to gain admission to Indian Institute of Technologies (IITs). Now, unlike board exam, that is CBSE board exam, and also JEE Main exam, obviously compared to board exam, JEE Main is tougher. But even compared to JEE Main, if you consider JEE Advanced, that actually requires more conceptual approach. Okay, and in 2024, IIT Madras is going to conduct this exam. The date is mentioned May 26. Now, different years there are different IITs. They conduct this exam, but today in this year 2024, it is IIT Madras. And details of this you will get in the official website, which is mentioned here. Okay. Now, as it is mentioned here, the JEE Advanced, it requires more conceptual approach. So based on that, you probably know, but still you should know it, that only the students clearing the cutoff for JEE Main, which is obviously it takes place before JEE Advanced. It is in April and January. So those students having the cutoff marks in JEE Main, only they are eligible to take this particular exam. So it is not any direct you can sit for it. First you have to clear JEE Main, and then only, depending on the cutoff, which varies every year, we can go for the next one. Now the top 2.5 lakh candidates qualifying the JEE Main, they will be eligible to register for this second exam, which is JEE Advanced 2024. But still it is always suggested to check this website often, because if there is any changes or any update, you can always be informed about this. Okay, that is the overview. Now if we talk about the exam pattern of this JEE Advanced, it is computer based test, just like JEE Main. It is also computer based test, and the duration is 3 hours. For PWD student it is 4 hours. Now there are obviously these three subjects. There is two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. So for each paper the hour is mentioned, but see here number of questions actually changes every year. Different year, different IITs, they conduct this exam, and there is nothing fixed. Maybe 2 years these are same, but still there is always a probability for change. What about the marking scheme? That actually also changes every year. Just like the number of questions, it is not fixed, and marking scheme also not fixed. What about the type of question if we talk about? Now, based on the type of question, if we say something, though that varies, but still here, as you can see, some type of questions are mentioned already, because that is based on the previous year's question. It is observed that there are some MCQ type of question. And this MCQ may be two types. That is single choice, that is out of 4 options, only one option will be correct. That is single MCQ. And there may be multiple correct answers. So more than one option may be correct. 2 options correct, 3 options correct, or all the options correct. These are the possibilities under MCQ. Then there is numerical value based answers. Integer value we have to put. So if you put the answer, then only you will get full marks. If it is not, then there will be a negative mark if it is wrong. Now there is also a third type of question, which is list matching question. So in list 1 there will be some items, in list 2 there will be some items, and you have to match it. Then the fourth type of question we have here is paragraph based question. So what happens, there is some paragraph given, and based on that paragraphs questions will be asked. So informations will be there in the paragraph, and based on that there will be questions. So these are the types of questions that are mostly observed in previous year's question. If we talk about the marking scheme, there is actually negative marking, as there is always, whether it is JEE Main or NEET, it is always there, negative marking for every wrong answer. And exact marking scheme, it is difficult to say because that changes every year. So it is always better to that is as a suggestion to candidates, I would like to say that it is better that you always read the instructions on the exam day in the instruction part, though, because every year it may change. So suppose you already have some idea about the formats, how the questions in the previous year, but that doesn't mean this year it will not change. So it is always advised, read the instructions carefully in the question paper. Now, if we talk about the last year, 2023, then there is in chemistry part, obviously, because our topic is chemistry, 17 questions are there in paper 1 and also 17 questions there in paper 2. Next, we will see in the last year, what are that is instruction, because we know that it changes every year, but if we see the instructions given in 2023, you will have some idea. Okay, so let's see. There are actually total 4 sections in 2023. Marking scheme of 2023. First we will see the paper 1. So for paper 1, if we first consider section 1, there are actually total 3 questions. Now 3 questions, each question there are 4 options. 1 or more than 1 may be correct. That was the pattern. So is and are, if it is 1 it is is, if more than 1 it is are. Okay, both possibilities are there. Now for each question we have to choose accordingly the option or options. Full marks will be given, which is +4. Now full marks, that is the maximum marks if it is +4, and if there is 3 questions, all you have to attend. So if that is the maximum marks that you can obtain is 3 into 4, that means it will be 12 marks. Fine. So 4 marks will be there if you are selecting all the correct options. Fine. But suppose there are part that is more than 1 option and you are selecting only some of them. So for example, partial marks +3 will be given. Suppose all the 4 options are correct, but you have chosen only 3 options. So you will be given partial marks. Then another type of partial marks is, suppose 3 or more options. Suppose 3 or 4 options are correct, but only 2 options are chosen. Both are correct. Out of this correct answer, only 2 are chosen. Then both of which, obviously, if it is correct, it will be given +2. So this is also partial marks. Then if 2 or more options are correct, but only 1 option is chosen, then it is correct. That is, if it is correct, it will be +1. So all these are basically partial marks. Now, don't think that full marks for +4 means it is always all the 4 options. No, it is not that. Suppose if 2 options are correct, then also it is +4. If 3 options are correct, then also it is +4. Full marks means that is the maximum marks you can obtain. And if you have chosen all the correct option, whether it is 2, 3 or 4, even 1, there is 0 marks if you are not attending it. Obviously, that is normal. And negative marking will be there, which is -2 in all other cases. So whatever conditions are applied for this partial marking, suppose if it is not so, If you are not maintaining that condition, that means in other cases you will get -2 in all other cases. What about section 2? In section 2, 4 questions, and each question has 4 options. Now see the difference. It is single correct choice. Only one of these 4 options is correct, and we have to choose the correct one. Now full marks plus 3 if only the correct option is chosen. Obviously, that is the only possibility. It is not like the previous case because only one correct option. Now plus 3 and total 4 questions, that means maximum marks you can get from this section. I'm talking about 2023. Obviously, it may change this year. I'm just giving you some idea. Okay, that's why I'm discussing this. So maximum marks you can get again 12 from this section. 0 marks if it is unanswered, and negative marking in all other cases if you are choosing any wrong option. Section 3 of paper 1, total 6 questions. Now this is non-negative integer, 2, 3, 4 like this. For each question you can enter the correct integer corresponding to answer using the mouse, that is it is online exam, or there is some online virtual numeric keypad will be available in the place designated, that also you can use. So here only 2 possibilities, either you are answering the question or you are not answering the question, because there is no chance of that is, it is not option based, right? So full marks is +4 and total question 6, that means maximum marks you can get is 24 marks, and 0 marks in all other cases, that is if it is wrong. So see, there is nothing negative marking. And section 4, here we have total 4 questions. Now the type of question is matching list. There will be one multiple choice question. So out of 4 options, you have to choose only one. But the pattern, that is the question, will be given in the format of list 1, list 2. In list 1, there will be total 4 entries. In list 1 will be 4 entries. List 2, there will be 5 entries. Now see, one entry extra, PQRS, but in the right hand side, that is list 2, there will be total 5 entries. Now 4 options are given, out of which in multiple choice question based format, only one of these 4 options satisfies the condition. So it is also single correct choice, but it is least matching. Full marks is +3 only if option corresponding to the correct combination is chosen. 0, obviously if it is unanswered, that goes without saying. And negative marking in all other cases, that is if you are choosing any wrong option, it will be -1. Now we will go to paper 2. Paper 2, again 4 sections. Okay, probably I have told the total marks. No, I have missed it. +3 and total 4 questions, that means maximum 12. So in the previous 2 sections we have seen 2, 12, that means 12, 12, 12, 36 and 24, 60 marks. Okay. For paper 2, section 1, see, this type of pattern we have already seen in paper 1, right? That is only one option is correct, and you will be given full marks if you are choosing the correct, 0 if it is unanswered, and negative marking if you are choosing incorrect option. Then section 2, where we have 3 questions. Now 3 questions, and here one or more than one options will be correct. Now this pattern also we have already seen in paper 1. Full marks +4, partial marks +3, and when it is +3, if all 4 options are correct, but you are choosing only 3. Another type of partial marks +2, if 3 or more options correct, but you are choosing only 2 correct. If you are choosing only 1 correct when there is 2 or more options correct. And 0 marks for unanswered, negative marking in all other cases. Basically, it is the same as you have already seen in the section 1 of paper 1. Now it is in section 2. So these 2 pattern we have already seen in paper 1. Then what about the, okay, let me tell about the marking. Here +3 and 4 question, that means 12 marks you can get maximum. And here we have 3 question, full marks plus, that means again 12 marks you can get maximum. Marking scheme of 2023 paper 2. Section 3, 6 question, non-negative integer. So here as it is already mentioned, there you can use mouse or on-screen virtual numeric. +4 if it is correct, 0 in all other cases. So +4 and 6, that means total maximum marks possible 24. Section 4, we have 4 questions. Now the pattern is you will be given 2 paragraphs. Now based on each paragraph there will be 2 questions. That means 2 paragraph, per paragraph 2 questions means total 4 questions, right? Now the answer to each question, it is again a numerical value. So as if it is not just paragraph based, but it is also a numerical value answer. And you can enter this whenever there is a numerical value, you can enter either using mouse or on screen virtual numeric keypad. And there will be, that is more than 2 decimal places. If there is in the numerical value, you have to round off to 2 decimal places. Answer, the marking scheme is +3 if only correct numerical value is entered, and 0 marks in all other cases. So here +3 and total 4 questions, that means again you can get maximum 12 marks. Okay. So once we know this exam pattern, but remember, don't think that there is no chance of change. It may not change, it may change. Both possibilities are there. But if we see the previous year's question, these are the common pattern that we observed for last few years. That is paragraph type question, MCQ, single MCQ or more than one correct choice, and there is list matching type of question and paragraph based question. Now syllabus is very that is compared to JEE main and NEET, compared to both of these, where some chapters are deleted. But if you see the syllabus of JEE Advanced, those chapters are still there. For example, surface chemistry, it is still there. S block, it is still there. These are not deleted. That is the deleted chapters in those exams. JEE main, it is still there. That means it is more vast compared to that one. And here the way the chapters are divided, it is slightly different. For example, in JEE main it is mentioned that oxygen based compounds. Now under oxygen based compounds you have basically alcohol, ether, aldehyde, ketone, carboxylics. So together we call the chapter oxygen based, but here it is split. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Basically it is same thing. But here some extra chapters, those are deleted in JEE main. Those chapters are still present here. Okay, so you have to take care of that fact. Now the preparation tips and tricks that we have to keep in mind. You have to start with a timetable. It's in 26 May. That is at the end of the May month. So you still have some months. So first you have to start with a timetable. If you have not yet any timetable, that is the first thing that you have to do. Why it is required? Because this will help you to determine when and how much you should study. So every day after waking up, you don't have to decide that today what to do, what to read, when to read. Everything will be pre-decided. And once you have finished creating your timetable, you have to follow it at any cost. Set smaller and more attainable goals so that you can finish. Because if you can't finish it, if you are making a timetable which is really difficult to maintain for you, though it depends, candidate to candidate may vary, but make in such a way so that you can attain it. Because once you have completed something, you can gain some confidence, right? So you can start with a small unit which you can finish in an hour, and once it is finished, you will feel good and you will be encouraged to read something more. So more attainable goals, smaller goals you can start with. You must balance academics and other responsibilities, and it is not just for this exam, it is true for any competitive examination. So timetable, it should be, it depends on your lifestyle. It is not that someone else is following this timetable, so you have to follow the same. It's not like that. Whatever you are making, that you should be comfortable with that, and it should be like which you can actually follow. Study plan. Once you have made the timetable, next you have to make the study plan. That is what to read and what to read first, what to read next, all this stuff. Self-study provides a deeper comprehension of the material and raises questions or doubts that you can answer later. So whenever you are studying a chapter, some questions, doubt obviously will arise in your mind. You should keep a separate notebook where you will write all these doubts or questions, so that later you can ask someone else, your teacher or senior. Okay. And whenever these doubts are arising, don't forget to mention it in separate notebook, because if you are still with those doubts, it will create problem. And in one chapter, if there is any doubt, it will also affect in other chapters, because all the chapters are somewhere related. Okay. Divide the chapters wisely. For example, you can choose one easy chapter between two difficult. So suppose there is thermodynamics, which is very vast chapter, difficult, and there is basic principles of organic chemistry, that is also very difficult. So in between those two, you can choose something easier. For example, you can choose a P block, though it is also vast, but still it is easier compared to these two. So these are some suggestions. It is not that you have to blindly follow it. I'm just giving you some suggestions that if you are just starting the preparation, it will help you if you follow this. Practice test question from the chapter, studied the same day. So the chapter detail finished. Suppose you have finished thermodynamics, try to do practice question on the same day, so that you can understand that whether you are able to answer those questions, because after 1 or 2 you may forget that. Okay, so it should be on the same day. Once the entire chapter is finished, what you should do, write down. It is true that I have already said you should mention, note down all the questions or doubts. But beside that, apart from that, write down whatever you understand in your own language, in that language with which you are comfortable. Only you can understand it. It is just for you. So what you understand in short, and refer to those notes from time to time to revise for revision purpose, so that you can do it fast. You don't have to show it anyone. It is just for your personal revision, and this will help you just to have a glance. Suppose just one day before the exam, you don't have much time, you just have to look at this. So you need something short and precise, so your own note will help you. It is not that the note should be lengthy, it should be short, simple, and it should be in such a way so that you can at the last moment, even if you revise it, it can help you. And the formula numerical based questions, for those questions, especially in physical chemistry, you need a lot of written practice, especially for this type of questions, right? That you already know. So for normal question, if you are practicing it for 3 times, I'm just saying, for example, if it is for formal numerical, it should be double, so that you can remember all those formulas, and numerical problems you can do easily. So following all this study plan, it will obviously help you to stay on track and focused, but don't forget to relax. That is very important. If you are not relaxing, your that is brain will not work properly, right? So time to time you have to also give yourself some rest. What about the reference book? You have to choose it very wisely. It is true that it is very difficult to choose, because sometimes there are so many books are available in the market for this type of competitive exam. It is sometimes difficult, but see, it is not that the more books you read, the better you perform. That is not the rule. That cannot be true. On the other hand, I can say that the more reference books you read, the more confused you may get, and our purpose is not to get confused. We have to be focused. Okay, so even if you are very confused, I will suggest you start with the simple book NCERT, and then you can go for, once you have digested it, you can go something advanced book. And to choose book, you can take the help of your seniors who have already sit for this exam, or your teachers. They can help, who have some idea about these books. Then candidates have to know how to use our hard knowledge to new and unexpected unusual question. So you just cannot waste time to choose reference book. Your purpose is to face those situations where whatever you know, that is where you can utilize your knowledge, you can use your knowledge to new and unexpected situations. Especially compared to main JEE Advanced, the questions are very tricky, so you have to face some unexpected or unusual questions. Maybe in previous years problems, that type of questions you have not seen. So the preparation should be like this. So give more time to this factor. whatever is mentioned in this point, not just blindly choosing which book. Okay, because see, if you have many books, same thing is written in all the books in a different way. So if you are reading two books, it is not that you are gaining something extra. Okay, so choose book with which you are comfortable. You cannot afford to waste time searching for incorrect books or study material, because your focus should be on this. Be aware and curious while you are studying, because this exam, it is all about conceptual understanding, and it is not at all straightforward. See, it is in bold. It is not at all straightforward. That is why I have mentioned in the previous point that you should always be ready to face situations where you have to utilize your knowledge. So your basic concept must be crystal clear so that you can face unexpected situation, unusual questions which you have not seen before, and that you can face only if your basic knowledge is clear. So this exam is not at all straightforward, very tricky, even more trickier than JEE main. So conceptual understanding is very important. Now be aware and curious means, so when you are reading something, some doubts will arise, and you should not hesitate to ask your teachers or peers. Whenever you are stuck, whenever you have questions, whenever you have doubts, it should be always addressed. If you are not understanding it, once someone has tried to make you understand, you should ask again and again until you are not clear. Okay, so don't be shy. Now in this way, what will happen if you always ask questions, that is whatever you are reading, even if your doubts are not arising spontaneously, I will suggest that when you are reading something, just try to understand why it is so. Whatever you are reading, there should be always some curiosity that something is mentioned in the book, but why it is mentioned like this. There should be questions arising in your mind like this. The more questions will arise, the more curiously you are learning. It is true that when you are very curious, more doubts will be there, but don't get tense by that, because more doubts are arising, that doesn't mean that your study is not going correctly. Actually, when doubts are arising, you are being curious. That is a good thing. But you should always clear all your doubts so that at the last minute, those doubts are not stored in your head. So in this way, you can broaden your expertise, solve comparable complex challenges by asking questions. So one question, suppose when you are there is some doubts while solving this, and your doubts are arising. Suppose same question you will not get, but similar type of question you may get. So that is why comparable complex challenges now you can solve, because you have already solved them. You have now some expertise on those questions. Remember that focusing solely on mugging up the concept, as if simply you are mugging up everything, it will not help you at all to crack the exam, because the questions are never straightforward, not at all straightforward. So once you grasp the basic concepts well, then only it is possible for you to understand the difficult ones. Now, though it is true that this exam is more trickier, if you look at the questions, if your basics are not clear, it seems very difficult. But if you start from basics, if you focus on basics very much, and then once you solve some practice question, then when you are facing the previous year's question, it will not be so difficult to you, if only your basic concepts are clear. Then only you will be able to understand the difficult ones. Directly, if you jump on the difficult questions, suppose directly you are jumping on some difficult question, you are trying to solve some previous year question, and you are not able to do so, but that is not the right way. Don't jump on the difficult chapters or difficult problems directly. First, you should try the basic concepts. It must be clear. Once basic concepts are clear, try some practice question. I'm not saying any mock test or previous year. Just practice some normal NCERT books question. And if you're seeing that you are very comfortable with those questions, simple questions, then go for the difficult ones, step by step. Don't jump to the difficult ones directly. And if you are confident enough, very good, then you can jump. But if you are not so, and your basics are weak, jumping directly to the difficult ones, even if accidentally you can answer it, but that doesn't mean that it will always be so. Okay, so don't forget the basic concepts. It must be clear. Now, once the basic concepts are clear, you have done your in all the chapters finished. You have also done some practice questions from some books, and you have also practiced the numericals, the formula based questions. Compared to normal questions, formula based question, you have to give more time. You have to practice more, double than compared to normal question. The next thing is to solve previous year's question. Now, once you are comfortable with the normal textbook questions, you can do it very easily. Then that is the next step that you have to take is to solve previous year's question. And solve previous year's question, the main purpose is to get familiar with the exam format. What are the instruction of the questions? And if you can set some time to solve the previous year's question, that is also good. Don't do that at the first step. First, you just have to try it simply, and then you can fix some time. Then if you look at the previous year's question, you can identify whether there is any recurring pattern or not. Then you can assess your preparation level. Suppose when you can do the practice question easily, but when you have started PYQ, you are not so, you cannot do it very well. That means you will be able to understand preparation level, right? And how to deal with question in the real exam. So that is all about the previous year's question. Once you are done with the previous year's question, that is now you have some grasp over it, you have some confidence over it. Now is the time to take some mock test so that you can improve your time management skill. Because here time will be limited. That is just like as if the real exam. So everything will be same, only it is not the real exam. That is the difference. So in this mock test, it will help you to manage time, what type of question you should give more time, because some people some candidates may be more comfortable with least type of question, some candidates may be more comfortable with numerical. That varies. So you have to, when you go for mock test regularly, that is for the last month, you should practice it. Okay, that is you should start it at least 1 month before the exam. So you will be able to understand the time management skill, which question for you is taking more time, and also the accuracy. Suppose you can solve all the question, but it is not accurate, then it is of no value. There will be negative marking also. So all these things you can understand only by giving mock test. Practice important concept, diagram, formula, numerical, graphical questions. Though that everything you will get in PYQs, but these are things that you have to keep in mind. Numerical question, there will be graphical question, formula based question, diagram based question, and the important concepts. In this way, if you do it regularly, what will happen? You will be able to identify your weak areas, if there is any. I hope there is not, but if there is any, which is normal obviously, then you can focus on that. You will be able to identify your weak areas as well as strong areas. So weak areas you have to improve. Make a habit of fast calculation, because time will be limited. So suppose when you are giving, that is you are practicing for some time mock test, the time that you are taking, when you are giving the mock test for third time or fourth time, you have to check that whether your calculation time is decreasing or not. Okay, whether it is becoming faster with time. Solve entire question until the end, because the questions sometimes are lengthy. So try to solve it until the end so that you can get full marks, because there are so many partial marking that you have already seen. Revise as much as you can. Your basic ideas, we know it must be crystal clear. So that is why it is important to answer the PYQs. And to answer the PYQs mock test, basic ideas must be clear. And to basic ideas must be clear. It is not just, we are saying that it is not enough. It must be retained. Because suppose you have read one chapter and then after some days you are forgetting that, that is of no value. That will be retained only if you are revising it again and again. As the syllabus is extensive, even compared to JEE Main, it is extensive. It requires comprehensive revision to get confidence in each concept. And how you will revise, that also you have to take care of the fact in your timetable. So the timetable that you are maintaining in the first month for your preparation, it may change in the second month, because in the second month or third month, suppose your revision will be more, right? So if you are changing your timetable, that is also okay. Regular revision will improve your knowledge, retention. It must be retained. You should not forget. And for that, revision is necessary and understanding the concept. Now, at the last, I would like to mention that keep positive mindset. That is very important. It is very normal when you are taking the preparation. It is very normal to sometimes when you are facing some doubt or fall, you may get tensed or you may be under stress, but that is normal. But you should maintain a positive mindset during the preparation process. Always think about the good outcomes. Okay. Never be discouraged if you are encountering any doubt or fall. Your focus should be on the solution. So doubt or fall, if you are encountering, that is very normal. It is part of the process. And your focus should be not to get stressed, but how to get the solution. So whatever doubts you are getting, you just have to clear your doubts. That should be your focus, not to get stressed. Ensure proper sleep, diet, stress management. You have to take care of yourself, because this preparation, especially for this type of exam, it is really tiring. So don't forget to relax. Maintaining all these will also help enhance your confidence and ultimately good results, right? Now, the things that you have to keep in mind for the actual exam day. See some tips. Don't start any new topic, only revise essential topics according to the syllabus. So even if you're suppose during preparation, if you have missed some chapters, don't start any new topic. It will unnecessarily increase your stress. And last 2 days, you will not be able to finish it. Right? It is better, whatever you have already completed, focus on that. Don't start anything new. Avoid studying for lengthy periods or the exam day or the day before the exam, because that is the time when your brain should be in relaxed mode. In relaxed mode, our brain can work efficiently, and you have to, and that is required in the exam timing, right? So that is why don't, that is, you should avoid lengthy period of study. Eat well, healthily, sleep early and soundly. You should reach the examination hall at least 1 or 45 minutes before the exam, and don't forget to carry your ID proofs, admit card. So without this, you will not be able to enter. Always check it 2 times before leaving your house. Also check the list of banned items. Ensure you do not carry, because there will be, after all, strict checking. And I will advise you to visit the exam center before, so that you can have some previous idea how long it is taking time, and you can reach there at proper time. And if it is very far from your home, you can also book a hotel, so that you can stay stress free. Okay, there will be no transportation problem. Now, once you have entered the hall, the things to keep in mind: maintain positive attitude and remain calm. Verify that all the information on the attendance sheet is correct. All the signatures you have done in the designated column or place. There will be separate time for that. It is not included in the actual exam time. Sufficient time will be given. Don't be distracted by the exam hall environment just before the exam start. There may be some discussion, and other students as candidates, there may so many things can going on, but your focus should be just to be calm. Don't engage also in any type of unnecessary discussion. It will not help you at the last moment. Unnecessarily, it will increase your stress. So be far from that. Now, when the actual exam starts, time management, if we talk about, you should read all the instructions on the question paper. Response accordingly, because each year it may change. There is a probability. It is not necessary that it will follow the last year pattern. Instructions are there for a reason. So that is why you must comprehend them completely. Don't think it will be time wastage. Okay, it is required. You can take a quick look at the whole paper. But as there is time restriction, Don't stick to a single question for too long. Though that habit you will always previously you will grow because already you'll be given some mock test. But in the actual exam hall, don't forget that you should not stick to a single question. Suppose some question, if you're thinking you can do it, but still there is some problem, don't stick to it. You should start with simple question, so that once it is finished, you can gain some confidence. Then you can proceed to the more difficult ones. Make no while guesses because there will be negative marking that we have already seen. Now here we have a mock test, one screenshot, so that you can have some idea. So see here, physics section 1, 2, 3, because this format it is such where 3 sections. So in last year there are 4, and it may vary. It is not that same year, every year you will get same number of sections. That is necessary. So here we have 3, and in the here instructions are given, then mark for review and next. So if you are selecting it, that means you have not answered it, you are just marking it for review. There is clear response option, and if you are sure, then save and next. That is the option that you have to choose. Now here this red one, suppose there are total 8 questions. As you can see here it is mentioned 8 questions, so 8 thumbnails you can see. So this is red, that means it is not answered, and you are right now at this question, so that is it is red color. Answered means it will be green. Not visited, gray color. So these questions are not visited. Marked for review, purple color. But purple color with this type of green sign, that means it is already answered but still marked for review. That is the difference between these two. So that it is considered for the evaluation. Though answered are given, but answer will be reviewed later. So that is the difference. So these are the meaning of these different colors. But again, I will suggest it may also change. It is just I'm showing you just to have some idea. But as there is a probability of change every year, so that is why you should always read the instructions carefully. To read the instruction, there will be separate time, and don't be lazy in reading the instructions. If you are not able to follow the instructions, even if you are trying hard, your labor will be wasted. So that is why instructions, reading the instructions carefully, that is very, very important. At last, I would like to wish you good luck for your exam. Everything will be good, and just keep your positive mindset. Don't get stressed. It is normal to get stressed in the preparation period, but always keep positive mindset. Thank you for your time.